All right, everybody, let's welcome the Left Handed Wonder. Malina Moye is in the studio today. How are you doing, Malina?
I am doing so good. What's up, y'all? Hi, hello, everybody, all the listeners.
Just to start things off really quickly here, a lot of the songs that you write, I love your music. A lot of the stuff that you write, it's basically about empowerment.
Thank you.
I was curious about what are some of the struggles that you've gone through to kind of get you into that place to where you can lift people up.
Wow. Okay, that's a great question. Thank you. Man, I think that just being in the business for so long, but I think that from one space, obviously being a guitar player, being left-handed, being a woman, being an African-American woman, and then also loving to incorporate rock into what I'm doing, thanks to your wonderful brother. Yeah, you're right. Eric was my guitar coach. He can be like the pentatonic scale. Every time, like seriously.
I showed you the pentatonic and you took it and ran with it.
No, just thank you for that. For me, it's honestly is an incident that just happened where you never really look at yourself as the things that people point out, because obviously I know I'm Black, but it becomes really apparent when someone puts you in a position and they start to make the focal point of everything that's about you is because you're Black. Then it starts to become like, man, wait, so you're saying I'm not going to get certain things because, wait, this can't be true, because this is like what, 2020, 2018, there's no way you guys are done. I'm like, so in my mind, I started to go, I'm totally like thinking wrong. No one would ever think this way because I don't think this way. And what happened was I end up coming across, I can't say the magazine, there was a magazine. And when I saw this magazine, it dawned on me, oh my God, the people that these people have picked, they have one Black person here on the cover, but the diversity from this whole magazine is missing. They're literally sticking with a certain look that they felt represented what they thought was what people really wanted to see. And I thought to myself, well, this isn't fair, because as a guitar player, I'm sitting here putting the same amount of time in as several other people. But, and again, as an artist, we create from the notes that are given to us to create our style, our sound. We're not making a tribute. So I'm not, trying to, do someone else's work. I'm being creative and creating my own. And I'm like, people aren't realizing that we have to go through so many different layers just to get to the plate. So it just really disturbed me to a point where it had me questioning so much. And I thought, I'm enough. And this whole album for me is I'm going to celebrate who I am, because even if nobody else wants to celebrate me, I'm celebrating myself. Eric knows I came out here with $20 and was homeless, and I lived in the street, haven't had anything. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to celebrate who I am, what I've become, and where I am right now in this moment. And I felt like maybe other people might feel this way. I don't know. But the crazy thing is, this record, The Bad As I Want to Be, resonated with so many people, especially that song Enough. I never, ever imagined all of that came from this guitar magazine that I saw. And I'm thinking, man, they are totally putting their list together and they're naming people who are dead, and they're not looking at what's going on. And I said, at this rate, I will never get on any of these lists that these people are having, because they're missing the point. And the point of you being a magazine is so that you can shed light and help to change minds and change what's going on for the future.
Yeah.
And so that's where it came from. So every one of those songs I was speaking, it was a reminder to myself that I am somebody. No matter what anybody says, I'm somebody.
But at the same time, I love how the album is very diverse, because musically it's very diverse, because you go from this funk sound and then to a very soulful, like almost ballad. One of my favorite songs is Jumpin', because of that bass line.
Thank you.
It's just got that groove. I love songs like that.
Thank you. Me too. Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
No.
Oh, yeah, he's got that.
I love
the
it.
record
Get
collector.
the album now. Get the album now. K-Tel. That K-Tel on cassette and vinyl.
There it is, right there. No, I love that because I always say, once again, when you go back down to the basics, notes they don't know they're supposed to stay in certain lanes. We all get the same notes. However you wish to tell your story is what you wish to project out. So I've always lived my life like that. We've always had an eclectic palette of music from just everybody. I love music in general. Growing up in Minneapolis, of course, being around and having the Minneapolis sound and having people like Mr. Clinton and everybody come to our house, we're going to be influenced and have funk. And, even with songs like Chaotic, being able to work with Mr. Bootsy Collins.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Thank you. Being true to myself, because I'm like, this is the only thing that I know how to do. And then I'm glad to hear you say that because yeah, if you like again, I know this is going to go out, and I'm like, it's just a fight that you have even with certain like I own my own label here, and we go through a major distributor, and the same overseas, and it's so funny because they'll say we'll do certain festivals, and they'll say, okay, now Malina, you know, this is a really rock festival. Are you going to do the jumping song? And I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going to do it.
Yeah. And the crowd's going to be jumping.
Everybody's going to love it. We're going to, and they're like, no. And then at the end, because I'm like, sir, you're judging a book by its cover. Everybody, you know, when you're being real, you don't know what touches people. That's how it works.
Yeah, because sometimes you just feel like being crazy.
Is she going to just do some hip hop and stuff? That's probably what they're judging you by.
I don't do lanes.
Are you sure you can do rock? Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. If you do in the beginning, oh, my God. If you, the things, oh, my, seriously? You're playing the guitar? You know you're holding that backwards. That's so wrong.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, so you're a lefty, right? Like, not in the sense of like, liberal or whatever, but you play left-handed and you play right-handed guitar upside down.
You know, yeah.
I remember when I used to teach you that, when I was teaching those pentatonics, I had to like go like this, you know, to teach you a bend, because you're bending this way and I'm bending that way.
And you know what's so
But I always thought, like, you know, if you can master it like this, that's going to be your thing, you know?
You said that.
I'm so glad it is. And I was going to ask you, like, so do people tell you, like, hey, you're playing it wrong? And what is your response to them when they say, you should play it the right way?
And you know what's so funny? Can I tell you something? Because I think, again, having an opportunity to be with you and you not judging me like that, you were like, hey, do your thing. And you got to find that note and keep doing it and get the feel. And you got to get it right. So I always thought that I was doing it right. And then I would just keep doing it. And then you get around other players. I literally just found out that I'm actually bending like completely wrong from everybody else. Because for me, I'm like, this just seems right to me. And I'm like, I'm like,
oh, so wrong, oh, so right.
Yeah, because I was like, really, am I doing it? I was like, I hear the notes. I'm like, I had no idea. So I guess it all is so backwards. But yeah, I'm thinking everybody else is backwards.
But you know what? I always say there is no rules. There's no right or wrong way. It's how you present, how you do it. That's your thing. And, you know, I had the same thing. I never had lessons. So I had this guy to teach me the pentatonic the same way I taught you. Yep. And that's what sort of had me soaring. It's like, okay, this is it. This is how you do it, you know. And
I think it came down to you had to meet a freak from Hollywood to figure that out, right?
Yeah. I love it. Right? Hey, God is good. Are you kidding me? I love Eric.
I always remember when I first met you, you know, we were working at that place or whatever, and I remember you came up to me, hi, I'm Malina Moye. Like very classy, like you already had like a star power. Like, hello, I'm Malina Moye.
I said, yeah, man, you play guitar?
Really? Okay.
And you were like, yeah, so I said, man, well, I play, but yeah, I really want to get into some leads. You're like, well,
yeah.
And I was like, I don't have a lot of money. And you're like, if you come by all the time, I was like, okay. And remember, I was like, Eric, I'm gonna come by today. Yeah, and then literally, I would go home in hours and hours and hours and hours. And I was like, yeah, so are you kidding me? It's amazing.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, it's amazing the people that you meet in your life. I promise you, it's truly amazing.
That's what it's about.
Coming to see Willow West, remember you let me be your guitar tech? I fucking loved it. They were like,
I was gonna say, we're driving around in the heat, like
I know, but
fighting through traffic just to get through it.
But it was so cool because everybody's looking and I'm like going up on stage, and I said, this is the best thing ever because this is how you learn. And he let me come on.
Like, check out that dude's guitar tech. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I love it. That's how you do it. So now, I mean, for
you made me feel like a total rock star that night.
You are a rock star. I was like, thank you for letting me do it. He trusts me, so I cannot let him down. Are you kidding me? So I learned like all those pieces, all those things are so important, and I still utilize every one of them today. And for me, it's all about,
so cool.
I think, feel. Like what you said, it's about feel, finding what feels good to you and really getting in that confidence and going with it. And I think that for me, the best thing I also learned from doing Bad As I Want to Be is no matter what, you gotta really celebrate yourself and don't look to other people to really tell you to give you any kind of accolades. Because see, the thing is, you put a person up, they'll easily come down. So you have to just, no matter what, be happy with what you have and be grateful and honor that.
And I think that's half the battle in the music industry is being able to bounce back from rejection. I mean, it's the same as acting or anything else in the arts. It's like constant rejection, and you got to be able to just go, okay, forget that. I'm going to move forward.
To tell you the truth, I know this, I can't remember. I think Are You the Ones on this record? I believed in that record so much. And I said, this song is an R&B hit. I'm telling you. And radio's like, no. So it took 7 times to get a remix. And when I tell you that I kept coming back to the label saying, is this, how about this? They're like, no. How about this one?
How about
How about this one? And then I took my own money.
Damn.
I took my own money and I got behind that record. And then I was so excited because that record actually became the most, what was it? We got to like number 32 on the R&B chart. And then it was like the most added song in the country. Remember that? I was so proud, and nobody really knew that like the rejection. I can't tell you how many times they were like, no, 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 no,
Dang,
no,
Yeah.
no.
The more no's they give, the bigger the yes.
And I was like,
the bigger the yes
sure?
at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you only knew. But even like now with partnerships, you know, I'm always like telling other artists too, it's one thing for us to also, you know, to get instruments, to get gear. We all love free gear, but I'm also saying, hey, in this day and time, it's about partnerships. It's about someone also realizing who you are and what you bring to the table, and knowing that we all deserve to have those type of partnerships where we can have signature guitars, signature strings, help us to see our brand the way that our brand is helps you more than likely to also expand whatever it is you're doing. Like for me, I would love to see, you know, again, diversity, more women. And now this is taking place, but it's kind of like, you know, better late than never. Yeah, you got to keep going. And just like, to me, it's like, one person gets in, maybe we all get a shot.
Have you been keeping up like with current times, like going on TikTok and Instagram like that? Have you seen this flutter of female guitarists? I see a lot of women who just go on there and shred, and they just play, you know, just certain licks or whatever.
And some of it looks like totally like
I don't know if it's fake or not. I don't want to call anybody
but
out.
there are the real ones.
But I was curious of what your take was on female sexuality in the music business, as far as like, because I see a lot of women on Instagram or TikTok, and you can, you know, they're using what they got, and I have no problem with that.
You can say, Glenn, there's a hot chicks playing guitar really fast.
Sometimes they don't have the licks to back it up. Sometimes they don't have, they're playing kind of sloppy in my opinion, and I'm thinking, but they got 1 million views, and somebody else that is playing their ass off and they're not as hot, and you know, they got like 20 views. So I was wondering what your thoughts are on that.
There's 2 sides to that. I 100% feel you. You can work man hours, 10, 20,000 hours to get the licks down, and you still get 20 views, right? And then someone that freaking, like you just said, can mimic it, and it's like fake, and people, and they think it's real, and you get 2 million because you may do something crazy or you look hot doing it. Unfortunately, we're in the world now where everybody is a star, and everybody can do something, and everybody has an opinion. Which is why I have to go back to, it's so important to understand who you are and to keep your mental together, because when you, if we all really looked at that, that's so disturbing, because in your mind you go, it's not fair that I'm working my ass off. And like, I can't really get the things I'm looking for. And maybe I don't have this look, and I'm not this way, and I'm never going to get that. So again, that's why I wrote these songs, and the song Enough, meaning you have to celebrate you. You are enough. You matter. You count the way you are.
And you have to be enough. Yeah.
But in the aspect of the female players, that's a part of the situation, I think, with the business, where everyone's in the instant gratification with all the likes, with all the shares, with all the comments, when most of that stuff is not even real. So when it becomes reality and no one's at your show, well, then there's your proof.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets really different. So you want to make sure that no matter what, it becomes real. And then you wonder why people's things are canceled. Well, that's because on Instagram. And I always say, hey, what do you do when these apps leave? Where's your job then? Because at that point, it's like, you got to do real life.
You got to put the work in too.
That is the bottom line, because if you're planning on sticking around, I promise you, you're going to need those legs. You're going to need the legs to figure out how you got to where you're going to be, because there will be a new app. The other one will get deleted. And if you need to do something else, it's done. Your career's over.
I'm an eyewitness of how hard this chick works, man.
Thank you. And so
when are we going to see the Malina TikTok? When is the Malina TikTok going to come out?
Let me tell you something.
See you shredding.
Thank you. You know what I did actually? Thank you. So obviously I'm everywhere but TikTok. So my thing is, obviously I've secured my TikTok, right? So I got my name and everything up there. So you can follow me and see it there. But yeah, I think I got to start to put something up. But everywhere else, definitely. Instagram, obviously you'll see us in all the reels.
What strings do I have? What strings are
I have
guitar?
Eric, I love it.
She can't see that well, Eric.
I can hear it. I love it.
You hear a little bit. So look, nice bend. They feel smooth. I'm selling your strings right now.
I love it.
I think I'm more surprised that Eric was actually able to change his strings.
No, here's what happened. I took my guitar into the guitar 5-star guitars and get him to change my string.
Oh, okay.
You sent me 2 packs.
I was gonna say, did you change those yourself, Eric? Because you still can't change your own strings.
No, I put them on my Jackson with the Floyd Rose. There's no way I'm going to attempt to change that by myself. So I took it into 5-star. It's $35 to change the strings for me. So I said, they ask you what strings you want on. I go, I want my friend Malina Moye strings on there. And then he's like, look, he's like, wow. He's like, and I gave him your website. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe you can get into 5-star guitar.
I love it.
Well, yeah.
But they definitely, I know, thanks 5-star guitar. Thanks, Eric. But yeah, the strings are available. You can go to deanmarkley.com. We're doing really well. I'm excited that people are playing them. I love it because, like I said, I never imagined that, Eric, when you and I were just going through all the scales and just listening, working on music. But yeah, so now here we are. So I think there's a lot of cool things coming to the pipeline. But to go back to your question about the women and playing, back in 2017, I was like, you'll find videos where I was saying, hey, people are saying rock is dead. And I said, in my opinion, it's not. And I said, it's actually being redone, and it's with women. And I said, if you go on social media, especially Instagram, you're going to see so many women who actually can play. And you'll see videos. And I said, to me, by 2022, you're going to start to see more women shredders, more women playing. I didn't think about people who are the Milli Vanillis of, and I don't know if I should say that. You guys are artists as well, of playing guitar. I never even thought people would do that. But I mean, hell.
A lip syncer. You don't play the tracks, right? You're not playing the tracks, right?
So when you said that, I'm like, no one does that. But on a guitar,
everything's an illusion.
How can you pull that shit off? I don't know.
Well, there's some of them there's some of them will do. They'll play, they'll play their speed, but then they'll speed up the sound. They'll speed up the tape a little bit. So
Eric, you tell him. See what I'm saying again? I had no idea.
And I only know that because I watched it on YouTube. Like, a guy was exposing some of those guys on YouTube. So it could be wrong, though. Don't believe the internet.
I mean, I'm sure there are some great women guitar players out there that are doing their
Nita
thing.
Strauss is great. Yeah. Nita's a good friend of mine. Nita's amazing. She's with Alice, and obviously Orianthe's great. There's so many.
Orianthe,
Laurie's great. Oh, Nita's amazing.
Have you got to jam with any of them?
When we did the She Rocks, because Ori got it the first year, then I got the She Rocks the second year, then Nita Strauss got it the third year, then me and Nita Strauss gave it to Jennifer Batten. So, and I would think we did the big finale. So maybe we all did jam together.
My mind,
right? Now she's bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard her in a long time.
That lady's bad. So once again,
she had a really cool finger technique. Amazing finger technique that I
got to see it in person.
In the Guitar Magazine, I'm trying to figure it out.
In person and in real life.
Yeah, I think I know some of your influences, but who's always been like your major influence? Have you gotten to play with any of them on stage?
When I was younger, being in Minneapolis, I had a chance to actually hang out with Prince. So obviously, I love Prince.
Yes, we do.
People always would, right? For me, would always say it's with Jimmy. My dad would always say, we never played Jimi Hendrix in the house. So no, literally, I want to say that when you and I got together, Eric, is when I really started going, okay, let's see Jimmy. And then shortly after that, this is how crazy it becomes, where I got a chance to meet Janie, who's over the whole Hendrix experience. And then we became very good friends. And then I was invited to perform on the Experience Hendrix tour. And so when this happened, it became so crazy because we would just talk about Eric Johnson and just different players and Buddy Guy. So the odds of me actually being on this tour and then just Zakk Wylde having an opportunity to play with and then hear them. It's like when you go to rehearsal and you're hearing your sound check, I should say, and I'm like, oh, that's Eric Johnson. I can tell from that amp. How he's got his amp set. So, just these different things. So for me, I definitely love Prince. Obviously, I love Clapton. Very early on for his Crossroads, it was cool too because I got invited to come out to the Crossroads to perform, which is how I ended up meeting again Eric Gales. And so you guys, Eric plays upside down as well. So Eric actually, because I kept having trouble with Ben. So I was looking like, man, who's the person that's upside down? And I ended up reaching out to Eric Gales, right? So Eric basically was like, no, you ain't playing upside down. Then he looked and said, she is. She does play upside down. And then so he said, I ain't never seen a girl. And then we became cool. So Eric, I would say, was definitely one of them. Buddy Guy, having a chance to literally play with Buddy Guy. I mean, it was like just, right. So yeah. I can tell you, just incredible. So I think that yourself, like I said, again, just I like to learn from everybody, but for me, I'm all, again, the soul, the feel, and I think that you really got me into that metal zone, and then just really, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because let me tell you something.
I brainwashed you in the metal.
Yeah, but what's so crazy?
I told Malina, you got to do some thrash metal in there.
I know, but even like a little rump, that was metal zone. To be honest with you, Yeah, that is
I love
literally
that
what
pedal.
me too. But that pedal, and I don't know if we can say this because then all of a sudden I might get something from Bob. But I mean,
Yeah.
trust me.
Malina Moye endorsing
No,
Metal Zone.
I love that, but I do. But let me tell you something. That pedal, I love that pedal. Everybody's like, man, because
There's nothing like it.
I love the
Yeah.
pedal. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
most of my leads, I do it with that because again, and I think because learning from you and then hearing what you were doing, I literally was incorporating what I felt good to me and putting it and marrying it with my style of music. And then that's when it starts to mesh and merge, and then suddenly people are like, man, you got it sounds like it's funk and R&B, but then you seem like you have like metal or rock solos.
And that's the beauty of like learning. You know, people that take guitar lessons or music lessons, that's one thing. But when you learn from other people,
so I can't wait for you guys to hear my new album. I know for sure we're going to call it Dirty.
Oh yeah.
So it's exactly what we're talking about, right? And this album is about, it's about taking a high road when other people are want to take you low. Because truly, I really want to take you to the depths of hell if you do me wrong. But I know that in life, you got for your spirit.
Is it going to be a mix of like a heavy sound versus like a funk and soul sound, or is that what you're kind of going for?
I think it's going to be a mix of. No, I think there's definitely going to be like rock with
chili pepper.
Yeah,
sound.
but Malina, we're still going to put the influence of obviously soul. That's
Metal
a part,
Malina.
right? It's a part of me, so I can never, the soul, the funk, but definitely rock. And yeah, I can't wait to let you guys hear it. But the album title is
No, I know you
Dirty.
can't talk a lot about the new album, but can you give us a hint as far as will it be this year?
We definitely for sure. It's definitely for sure it's coming. I want to say that
drop this year.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're looking at October, and I think a first single might come August with the music video. So right now we're basically going over the videos, and it's the last.
I'm putting that on my 2022 list.
I can't wait. And then
of albums to buy for 2022.
I'm gonna send you one, and then the artwork is done. Photo shoots is done. Everything is done. Now it's like we just turn it in, and everything else is getting lined up, and hopefully, like I said, the world is open back up, so it's good. So for sure, definitely tour, and then for sure next year definitely tour, and hoping to definitely come out to Portland. So I hope to see you. And Glenn, are you in Portland too?
I'm in Vegas now.
Yeah, he was.
Where? Yeah, now I'm in Vegas.
Man, I love it.
Vegas, yeah.
We always say, I love it. I love Vegas. Okay, yeah.
So now you're going to have to hit Vegas and Portland.
I love Vegas, so yeah.
Everybody hits Vegas no matter what, so.
I can't get nobody to come out to Portland. I can't get no bands to come out to Portland. I think they all think there's riots and protesters out here.
Yeah.
Like all my favorite bands just keep skipping.
Go over, not Portland. We're going to go to Seattle. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what it seems like.
But no, I want to come up.
Now it seems so that you have a very strong determination to get things done, because obviously that's how you've been able to play these festivals. Yeah. What would you say to some inspiring female guitarists that are out there? What is something you can tell them that they can take away and say, okay, this is what I can do on my next move, or this is what I can do to make it, or to be who I want to be in life?
You know what I always say too? You want to get, as far as being just a better player, get around players better than you, and and fail. And that's how you learn. Right? I hit a note and I go, well, that note doesn't work. I won't hit that again. That's real. Yeah. Fail. Seriously, fail. And then also...
don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, do not be afraid to fail. And then as far as the business acumen, I would say 100%, you should want to know how things are done. You should want to understand... break things down very simple. If you wanted to be a cake maker, what does it take to be a cake maker? You can start from your house in the kitchen. So my main thing is, put one foot in front of the other and just keep finding, come up with the ideas, no matter how big, how small, and find people to help to make those things work for you, and just keep going. And then the next thing is, trust me, you'll end up getting the agents that you want. And then also, no matter what, just know that everybody ain't going to come with you to that to your destination. No matter what, you got to keep going, and just know that it's going to be so many. That's it. So many changes. And like you said, you have to get a muscle and develop it like a weight, meaning every time you hear a no, put another weight on it, get stronger. So it's just kind of like, again, those people.
And we learned that from our former profession, telemarketing. No, yes.
Let me tell you something.
No, yes.
Telemarketing. Let me tell you, telemarketing was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of that, and because it taught the pitch. Oh my God, pitching. To understand 30 seconds, because even when you're in front of agents, even when you're talking with, like our podcast, if you're doing interviews, no matter what, it teaches you and helps you to get right to the point. Like I'm doing that now, right? But it helps you to get right to the point, because that's what it's about. The more you can do, and then people, And like you said, to actually speak, and if you actually can articulate what you want and build that confidence in yourself, as well as like how you're looking at your instrument or what you want, take that same approach in what you do with your career, meaning, build that team, and trust me, it'll come.
That's
and
real.
They fall off, but no matter what, you got to stay constant.
Hopefully somebody out there got some words of confidence and can get past their depression and get something done.
And I say this, that no matter what anyone says to you, like what I always say is, when you don't see yourself represented, show up. When you think you can't, show up. And always know you matter and you count.
I think that goes with anything you want to accomplish in life. You just got to show up.
That is half the battle.
Wise words from the queen of the left-handed guitar.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to plug right now? Like a thing you got going right now that you can,
honestly,
talk about, or that people should look out for?
Honestly, no. I just want to say thank you guys so much.
Just get out there and get what she's got right now.
But just for everybody, I appreciate this. I'm so happy that we all made it through the pandemic. A lot of folks didn't make it with us. So again, thank you so much for at least listening to me. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for everybody for supporting live music, because we
get
back.
The strings.
Oh yeah,
get the strings. Get the record. Bad as I want to be. Get her past catalog.
The main thing is, people, when you get them strings, I got to tell you something. I'm going to need y'all to tune up. I'm seeing y'all get the strings. Don't forget to tune up. Much love and just thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you being on the show. MalinaMoye.com. Go to there.
Yeah.